welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we are going to be talking about some very important entrepreneur rules that I followed through my first year of business in order to stay afloat through a pandemic, but also grow a clientele during this time. I had worked with a business coach in order to help me start my business off the ground in the beginning. However, when the pandemic happened, we had to shut down for a period of 3 months. We essentially worked through different strategies to help grow my business, even though it was closed. At the end of 1 year, my coach actually asked me to reflect on some of the lessons that I learned. What were some lessons I would tell the Anna 1 year ago? And these reflections I'm going to share with you in today's video. Rule number 1 is to be excited. And in order for you to be successful and in order for other people to be excited for your business, you yourself have to be excited. When I first started this business, we threw a grand opening party. Instead of being nervous, I started being excited. And so I went on social media and I was like, hey guys, this is happening. So I was really hyping up the event, even though I had no idea if people were gonna show up or not. But if you're just like, yeah, I have this party coming up. If you wanna come, then feel free to come if you're free. Then people are gonna be less inclined to show up. But if your energy is more, hey, I have this grand opening party and I would love for you to come. There's gonna be games, food, and also we're gonna have giveaways and promotions for those of you who do come. So make sure you show up, bring a friend, and let's all have a good time. Notice how you're not changing what you're saying, you're just changing how you're saying it, and it's gonna already make a big difference. So make sure to be excited about your business because this is your baby and it deserves to come out into the world and people deserve to see it and also be a part of it. Rule number 2 is super important, and that is to make it less personal. Remember that a business is not about you, it is about the service or the product that you provide to your clients and the value that you are giving them. I made the mistake at the beginning of building my business of making it very personal. Building a business was very scary and I was very hesitant to start because I thought that my entire reputation depended on this business, but that's just not true. You guys have to separate the two. You are you and your business is your business. Once you make it less about yourself, you can look at things a lot more objectively and you can be able to implement the solutions that the business needs in order to improve. Rule number 3, you guys, and this is gonna be a game changer for your career, your business, but also your peace of mind. And that is to charge what you are worth. Do you guys know what the number 1 cause of burnout is? It's not making enough money. I know. That sounds a bit harsh because we're all in this business obviously to try to be more creative and do something that we love. So you're probably wondering, Anna, why are you talking about making money? Like, isn't that superficial? Money is important. Money is going to have you be able to not just survive, but live the lifestyle that you want while running a business that you love. A lot of us believe in the myth that you need to work more hours in order to make more money. That is simply not true. When you're caught up in this hamster wheel of working more hours in order to make more money, you're actually tiring and burning yourself out. Especially as a solopreneur, I myself am the only one in this business. It's just not feasible to work more hours. Maybe down the line, once you're able to find more team members to help you out, and then maybe you can think about adding more hours and availability to your schedule. And people are always going to have their own opinions, so you might as well just do your own thing. What I mean by this is that I remember when I had finished a client and she told me about a story about how one of her friends went up to her and was like, wow, your brows look amazing. How much does your artist charge? My client told her the price and this friend of hers said, wow, that's actually so expensive. I don't know if I could ever be able to invest in myself like that. My client said, no. Actually, Anna's prices is very reasonable and dare I say, inexpensive. Because there's a lot of artists in the city that are doing brows, however, are not giving the same quality. And Anna's actually charging less than those artists. As you can see, people are gonna have 2 varying opinions no matter what your price is. Somebody can say it's cheap, somebody can say it's very expensive. At the end of the day, don't worry about what people are saying. You should be charging what you think is worth your time, your effort, and the care that you put into doing your client's eyebrows. Just remember, charge what you are worth. And rule number 4, you guys, is one of my favorite quotes. And this quote is, bloom where you are planted. I really love that. It basically means, in my eyes, be resourceful and to use what you have available to you now. A lot of us think that starting a business is really about having all of the money now to do all of the renovations and make your shop Pinterest perfect, or that you need to have like thousands of followers on your Instagram, and that you need to have all of these things before you can start. And I'm just gonna give it to you straight. That is not true. And I'm sure this is the case for a lot of artists who started the same way that I did. Like, we had 100 followers, and 100 of those were our friends that we made follow us. And my shop is still the shop that I started in, and all we did was put in some floors and some wallpapers, but I didn't do any major construction. There's areas that need to be worked, and in my vision board, I'm gonna be moving into a bigger and Pinterest-worthy place. But at the moment, I just don't have the funds for that, and that's totally okay. You can save up for it. There's a lot of things that you can think about down the line, but for now, bloom where you are planted. I think that these roots really come from being a child of immigrants. My family is very resourceful. We were not well off, but every little thing that we had, we would try to make the most use out of it. And I've really applied that mentality to starting this business, because for a lot of you, you do have resources available to you. For example, when I first started, I was looking up online every day at the Small Business Administration. That's a local government agency that helps local businesses grow. And I would go to their meetings, their events and workshops, and I would look up all the resources that were available to me. You have the public library. Instead of buying books about how to start a business, you can borrow books, and those are free. Little things like that, you can really think about how you can use what's already available to you instead of spending so much money that you don't need in the very beginning. We can continue to make excuses for why we can't start a business or all of the obstacles that are in our way, or we can use that same effort and energy and focus it on the solutions and how we can actually build a business. That is the biggest difference between a wantrepreneur and an entrepreneur. Quick recap of what we spoke about today in terms of entrepreneurial rules that I followed in order to start my business and keep it going. And number 1 was to be excited. Your energy will be contagious. Once people are excited and they see your business as successful, they will help to share your business with their friends and their family, and that is how you will grow. Number 2 was to make your business less personal, less about you and more about who you are serving and how you can serve them better. Number 3 was to charge what you are worth, because you do not want to be burnt out and you want to keep this business going and you want to continue to bring quality to your customers. And lastly, bloom where you are planted and be resourceful. Use what you have to build the business that you want. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want more tips on how to build your own beauty business, then make sure you go ahead and click subscribe and join the Subby family. And I'm so excited for you guys to grow on this journey with me, but also with yourself. If you guys have any ideas for what type of videos you want to see, or what type of advice or business behind the scene hacks that you want to see, make sure you comment them down below so that I know what type of videos to make more of for you guys. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye!